Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Hanley again, and I am here to show you and explain to you what our next project in reading class is going to be. We are going to make a skills-based book based on the Graveyard book and the skills that we are going to cover throughout the novel using paper only and not use any glue, any tape, or any staples. So all you're going to need is the packet that I'm going to pass out to you, a pair of scissors, a ruler, and your pencil. And here's what we're going to do. Now I have these packets all arranged for you, and they will be given to you in this order. So please don't leaf through them. I will let you look at them later after we get the book together, just so the pages stay in the correct order. First on top, you will see this page. It says Chapter 4, The Witch's Headstone Continued, and it's got a picture of a witch on it. Behind that is Chapter 3, The Hounds of God Continued. The next page is Chapter 2, The New Friend. And the last one is Chapter 1, How Nobody Came to the Graveyard. So these papers are all lined up for you very nicely. And what I need you to do is to stack them together so they're even, and then fold them together this way, corners to corners, very evenly as best as you can. Okay, stack them and then fold them so it looks like you will have a blank face page on the front. Now once you do that and you have it creased, please pay attention because this next part is super important. You're going to open it up and you will take your first two pages, The Witch's Headstone and Chapter 3, The Hounds of God only. Only these two pages because they have to be cut a certain way. So you will take these two pages that you have and they should look like this. Chapter 3, The Hounds of God, and Chapter 4, The Witch's Headstone right behind it. And here's what you're going to do. With the rulers that I passed out to you, you are going to measure a 1-inch mark from the bottom. You are going to take your ruler and line it up with the end of the page at the bottom and mark it very gently with a small line or a small dot, and you will mark it the same way at the top. You are going to line it up at the top part of the ruler and mark it at the 1-inch line where that very big line is. Now here's the tricky part. You are going to take your scissors and you are going to cut a very thin opening. You're basically going to cut out the spine from dot to dot going up and down the page. Watch what I do very carefully. You don't want it to be a super big slit because then your pages will be too loose. As I cut, you can see it looks kind of like a very thin piece of spaghetti. And we all know what spaghetti is. So if you begin to cut your page and it looks like this, that's perfect. You just want to cut it and have that little piece come out so that your pages, when you open them, will look like this with a very thin slit in there. And you can put that to the side. Next, you will take your remaining two pages, which is Chapter 2, The New Friend, and Chapter 1, How Nobody Came to the Graveyard. And when you have those lined up, where your paper is folded on the crease, this is a little different. You are going to measure at the 1 1/8 mark here. You will line up the edge of your paper with the 1 1/8 mark to the 1-inch mark. Make sure you can see it. And you will do this for both sides of the paper. From the end, you will measure 1 1/8. Now this paper gets cut a little differently. You want to open up both of these pages. Okay, and where your marks are, you're going to take your scissors and you are going to cut down from the end of the paper down to the dot, right on the back. Okay, and we're going to do it here. If my cameraman could please get me doing this, you'll cut from the end all the way up to your dot. So your paper looks like that, and that's perfect. Now, here's what you're going to do. You are going to take this page that you just cut, and you are going to roll it up like this. Okay. And you are going to take this paper that you cut that itty bitty rectangle in, and you're going to put your rolled paper in through the slit, and you will now begin to work your paper into a booklet format, where you line up your slit with the top of the page. So now, when you have it together and work it in there, you have your graveyard book all lined up. And once you get it together, it'll come around and I will check everything for you to make sure we have the pages lined up correctly. And then you can leaf through and see all of the neat activities that we're going to be working on as we go along and read this novel. Okay? If you have any questions, just please raise your hand and I will come around to help you as soon as I can. Thanks. See you soon.